If you had to fight an Oni, how would you defeat him? Hello, my name is Michael Glenn, and in this episode of the Dojo Show, I'm looking at a technique Hatsumi Sensei calls Oni Kakuuchi, or striking the demon's horns. This Hanbo waza uses a strategy of Tate no kamae, where our weapon acts as a shield, and then it connects and flies free. And then it's like the Oni strikes himself. Okay, guys, so everybody, we've been doing this for a while, and you all know that this comes from this Hachimonji furi, right? And when you're doing this Hanbo furi, it makes this kind of figure eight pattern, right? And so in that figure eight pattern, it can connect with your opponent or with the weapon at any point in the pattern. Right now we're connecting it at this kind of vertical point, but it can connect at other points in the pattern, okay? So as Jesse's cutting here, right, there's no reason it can't cut down on it, okay? That makes perfect sense. It all depends on timing, right? So as he cuts again, I'm coming down on it, yeah? More down, okay? So you can add that in the mix there. So I'm down here. No, I was doing that on purpose. It's down here, okay? Once more. So this flies through the space this way, and then it's back up, okay? So the first strike, you're missing, you're whiffing, whatever. Maybe you could be going for kote, but you're not really making contact, and so it's turning more into metsubushi almost, right? So as he swings, it's just flying through that space there, and kind of towards his eyes, right? Once more. So here. And then you can sweep this back up this way. So that's the continuation of your furi. So in our basic Hachimonji furi, it makes this figure eight pattern. Okay. Right. So this is just that pattern. So as Mark enters here, I do the first part of it, right? And then the second part here. Okay, so it's this pattern using my body, okay? So you might need, because it's new for you, you might need some time just practicing the Hanbo furi, right? But that's something you can do on your own. Yeah, okay. The initial target, right, like it could be that you miss for some reason, or you're like, or you're going for her head or this kote, and you whiff it, or it's just meant to be kyojutsu or metsubushi. So yeah, just cutting down there. Yeah, but I'm still guarded here too. That's important. And this can come all kinds of angles, you know. This first one, you see my distance. Okay, she can't really get me without stepping again. Okay, so now when I do this second one, I got to be careful about closing. Okay, because if I'm ineffective here, like, stay there. Yeah. Cut again, yes. So if this is ineffective for some reason, like she's stronger than me or whatever, and I'm closing, I'm gonna be in big trouble. Okay, so that distance is really important to understand how to use it, how to control it. Mark, do you have a sword? Yep. So here, right, I'm kind of out of his range. You know, he could maybe lean, but it's really difficult for him at this point without stepping again, okay? So here, and then here, you see where I'm at still? So if this is ineffective, Mark decides to change his cut or something, I have a lot of space. What you want to be cautious about is coming in here. Now it's dangerous. This kamae that he has is so strong. And if he turns on me or something, you know, I'm wrestling. And I don't want to get in that position. Once more. So here. See how I keep my range the whole time? Yeah. I give myself that buffer of distance to be able to bail out if necessary. That's very important. On that second one, so the first one I'm here, the second one, see how I move to this side? Yeah, just to add even more for myself, you know. Yeah, nice, Mark. And this first one is so difficult, but I'm really like attacking the eyes there. It's projecting, you know. So even though I'm not hitting him with it, you see his reaction, like he wants to get away. And so when he's backpedaling like that, then it's hard for him to attack. Sometimes people forget with Hanbo Furi that you can strike with any part of the bow. We often focus on the end that's flying through the space, but it could be other parts, and it could be this end, the short end. Okay, so do you have a sword? Yeah. So in this case, I'm striking with the short end, and then the long end comes second. Okay, but this distance is way more difficult. Okay, this is muto dori basically. So first one, I'm in here attacking either hand. You see it made him want to let go there. So after this attack, right, this keeps going. This detail may save your life. So as Mark's cutting, right here I close distance, but here I gain distance. Okay, so in the furi I'm gaining distance again. So once more. So here, but there, you see where I finish? Mark's falling away from me, and I've gained distance. Okay, because you know, these things you may miss, or it may not have the effect you want, or maybe he's just mean, you know, so he's gonna come after you. So you may want to gain distance. So I use this as my oh shit, you know, but then that is my extension. That expands the space again for me. We're going to do something that's okay called Oni Kakushi, I think. But it's also doing using Tate no kamae with the Hanbo. So as James cuts in here, right, I'm going to receive this way. Okay, so there's no strike yet. Okay, I'm receiving with this short end. So here. Okay, then I can take this omote and bring him down. And in that omote, there's a strike there to his head, okay? So here, you can kick this other arm free, right, and bring him down. So, okay. He wasn't ready for that kick. Once more. Okay. So this can attack, but I'm not, right now I'm not with it, right? So it's like it can be a full omote, but right now I'm not focused on that. It's more the movement. So here, I can just come and strike there, okay? It can't be the kick, yeah. So you can bring this across. Sorry, Mark. So you notice even as he's falling away from me, still Tate, shielding, okay? This becomes your shield in that space. The hardest part about this is the opening, the muto dori. I'm starting off in this munen muso no kamae here, so I'm at a disadvantage already, right? He's got his sword out, he's getting ready to swing. That puts me at an immediate disadvantage. I don't have this up in the space in any way to protect myself. It's down here like a cane. So as he cuts, you know, I don't want to move too far. Basic muto dori, Sensei always says, width of a piece of paper, right? So you don't want to move too far. And then the next piece, this here is like sanshin, okay? It's not, you don't want to move this up in the space in a way that's going to trigger something in his body, okay? Unlike that one we were doing a minute ago where I did that, I was trying to trigger something in his body. This one, I don't want him to notice this right away, okay? So this is just here. It's just like sanshin. So, you see this is pretty close here. Okay, once more. So remember, have this idea of receiving her attack. Uke, that word, ukeru, means receive. That's one definition of it. And so a mistake that's easily made in this move is to try to, you know, punch or attack out with this to cover. And that can be read. She'll read that. If she's any good with the sword, she'll read it and she'll chop my arm off or something. Right? So you don't want to do that. You want to receive her attack. Once more. So just receiving here. Okay? And then the rest of it you can do an omote or whatever, but that first part is difficult. It's a little scary when that sword comes in, but be confident that this can control the space for you and protect you. Okay? So it's not much. If you guys want to play with that kick, there's a lot of different targets for it, so as Mark's coming in here. So this just receives, this can be to that elbow. Okay? And if you really deliver that, it's possible he will release, you know. So this just receives here. Okay. Yeah, it could be either foot, but it's more natural if you're stepping here to maybe kick with this foot, but either one. So here, just receiving. So as I come across, see how that's controlling the hand there? One more time. So I have to walk first to be able to pick this up. Okay. And then this thing can happen. You can use that to stay on the hand. So again with the sanshin feeling here. Walk, you can shuto, but you're picking up this ura, and then using this tate to control. All right? So, see how it's controlled there already? Okay, he's really jammed up. So I'm walking. Okay. Now here I've got distance again. Okay. So here I just walk. Now I switch hands. Yeah. See how that's jammed up there? There's no technique on this right now, but if you guys need a technique, pretend there. If you need a technique, gyaku, okay? But I'm more focused on this tate aspect. So if you don't need the technique, you can explore. Okay, go ahead. First is muto dori, right? That's very important. So she cuts, and I'm still doing this kind of sanshin muto dori here. Okay. Then the next most important thing is I don't want to stay here. This is a bad spot for me. Okay. Unless I'm striking and then getting out, but otherwise I want to move. So I move here. Okay. And I keep moving as much as needed. And then this stuff can change after that. Okay, Richard. So here, see how I floated to this space here? Let's change things. I just received, now I'm floating here. I have to cover this hand because he may let loose and try to punch or something, right? So the way the sword got to his neck here, that wasn't me. This is a really important detail about this year's theme, this kind of feeling. I went for an attack towards Butsumetsu there, like a flesh grab. He flinched, and as he flinched, he fell, and that fell with it. Yeah. It was his reaction that led to that. One more time. So. Okay. So each one's looking a little different. This is pretty advanced. So see if you can get that feeling. But the most important thing is getting off angle there, off the center line, where he's weak. Play with this tate feeling as long as you feel comfortable with it, right? What I mean by that is don't go too soon for any technique, right? You can just float here and then feel what is happening in his body. Like, you know, he may think he can come over the top or something there. No. So I didn't decide to do that, but that's what happened, right? So tonight I'm trying to work on that tate a lot. So don't go straight to technique, right? Yeah. Sensei always says, floating, make them be floating, yourself is floating. Nice, Michelle. That was nice. One thing you can play with too, the way I saw you on his hands, you can go like this and start crushing his fingers, right? So into the stick like this. That hurts a lot. Yeah, I think you were on this side, and you can do that. Yeah, so sometimes if his hand is still there, you can do that crush, and it's going to hurt because they're sandwiched between the sticks, you know? So I'm back to this side, okay? And here I'm going to kick this up into him and then see what's happened, okay? All right? I'm not trying to do any technique. I'm letting him create the technique for me or something else. If you're understanding this year's theme, it's there's other things entering into the space to help you with your technique, yeah? So back on this side, right? You can kick that up in there. Okay. Here I'm just floating with him. So at some point I don't care about it anymore, right? And this too. This is really important. Soke is always on us. Don't get attached to your weapons. Don't focus on your weapons because people focus on them too much. They get a white knuckle grip on their weapon or on the opponent's weapon, and they won't release, even when it's detrimental to keep hanging on, right? So you have to be freer than that. Open up to more possibility. Jesse? So just receiving here. Okay. This still has not done anything other than hit him in the face, right? But it's just in the space here. So that right there can be some dental work, right? But this is very light. I haven't done anything yet. So I'm not even holding the Hanbo anymore. But it's there in the space doing stuff for me. It's easy when we start doing henka like this, it's really easy to sort of get lost and lose track of what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to do it. So I'll give you a technique kind of thing to do, and if you get lost, you can always go to that, right? So here I just received. This is attacking the face, okay? If you want a technique here, you can do this technique. It's pretty simple, right? It's a basic Hanbo technique. Scary. So here, this if you want to, you can do skate here. But that's very technique oriented, and I'm trying to get away from that. I want you guys to just explore tate and being free in the space here. This is advanced stuff, and it's not easy, so if you don't understand it or get it, that's okay. Sensei, when I was there in September, he kept saying, if you don't understand, that's the point, right? He said that the things that kill people are things they don't understand, right? So, and he said if you do things that could be understood, then that's going to get you killed. So James was just asking me a little bit about this, and like a lot of the things we're doing right now are using this short end of the hanbo, right? So I'm covering with that, I'm attacking with that a lot. So it's that short end of the hanbo. One of the things that mirrors is the tsuka, when your sword is still in the sheath. Do you have a sword? Yeah. So if I'm at a disadvantage and my sword is still sheathed and he's got his out, right, now I have to use this short end of my weapon to protect myself. That's very difficult. Okay, it's not easy. So as Mark comes in here, I'm attacking this way. I'm going to draw and cut. Okay, my draw is what gains me the distance there. More time. So I'm in here covering with this short end. Okay, so I draw on Mark's body here with my suba is actually on him. Okay, Sensei, when I was in Japan, he kept talking about attacking with the suba. He was attacking different parts of the body. He even said to cut with the suba, which was weird. He was cutting at this distance and hitting with the suba. Okay, and so if you're at a short range like that with the sword, that might be a useful weapon. So here, I'm just covering here. And my draw is helping shield. Okay, I haven't cut Mark yet, really. Okay, so I can decide if I want to. Or maybe I just cover. I haven't cut him yet. Okay. If the guy's cutting at you, you may want to cut him, but but maybe there's a reason you wouldn't. So it's my body and the kashira here just kind of driving him away. Then that gets me this draw here. And then when I cut, I gain distance. This is still muto dori, okay? See how I've drawn on James's body here? My suba is right on him, okay? One more time. My suba is right on James's body here. But what you might not see is I'm controlling this arm this way, okay? Okay, so I'm not doing a lot of cutting here. I'm just controlling the space, controlling the opponent. Yeah, that's really important. The draw happens where he can't see. So, you know, James can't even see that it's been drawn, really, right? This strike, like I'm not extending it out of my belt. It's my whole body delivering it. And then when I draw, you know, if I need to, or I can push him away. Yeah, so, you know, it's possible also that I just push him away to draw. Right? Think about where the suba is on him when you start to draw. Yeah. The suba acts as like it's kamae, basically. It becomes like kamae. So, you know, you've drawn it out, and this suba is on the body, and it can control. Yeah. Kamae, yeah. Kamae is a pivot point, right? Yeah, so you place this on different parts of his body as you go to draw, and then you use that to pivot around, right? And it's still the tate feeling. You're still shielding, yeah. Okay, so here I'm attacking with my suba into kote. Okay, remember earlier with the hanbo? He does remember. So my sword is actually partially out. Okay, I'm late on my draw, but I get it partially out here. So Okay, Jesse. So. So it's partially out. That hurts a lot. Yeah. It's the suba into kote, into the knuckles. It could be further up the arm on kote, right? So it could be further up the arm this way. Again, I still haven't really killed him, right? I gotta decide if I'm gonna kill him or not. Sensei tells us all the time, don't kill unless you have to, you know? It's like partly out like this with the suba. You could do with the blade though. I didn't think about that, but Soke was doing stuff like that too. It's like you're laid on your draw, but it's partly out, you know.